Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are kicking off our journey into the world of the Python programming, okay, which is the one of the most popular and demanding language as of today, right? So it is a completely new course, right? Whether you are familiar with the programming or if you are looking to build some kind of foundation for you, right? So yeah, maybe this series is for you. So we will see in the upcoming videos like what is the fundamental of Python. So we will cover what Python is, why it's so popular, and what are the basic building blocks we can cover, right? What you need to understand, and then probably we'll try to write our first Python code and the other things, right? So before we start, I would request please subscribe my channel and share it with your friends and colleagues so that we'll share this community to cross many people, right? So we'll grow it together and we'll learn together. All right, so let's start with the Python. What Python is, right? So as I mentioned, like Python is a kind of very uh, demanding language as of today, right? So if you go in any fields, right, whether you are coming from the developer fields, whether you are coming from the DevOps field, so this kind of language which supports multiple era, right? Like if you are going to machine learning, or if you are going to a data analyst or data scientist, or maybe a day-to-day task also, if you want to automate, right? So Python is the one of the best language, right, which is very easy to learn, easy to support, so we can choose it, right? So yeah, what is Python is? Python is a very high level and versatile programming language, right? Because it is known for its simplicity. It is very highly readable, right? And we are easily we can learn the Python. There is no hard and fast rule like you need to come with some kind of prerequisite or no. We'll start the Python from the basic itself, right? So as I mentioned, like Python is a highly interpreted language, right? And there are some kind of we have the reasons, or maybe the you can say the features why we should use Python, right? So before we start the Python language, let me just give a brief example of the languages, right? So we have the low language, right? We have the kind of if you have I'm sure that you have heard about and maybe read about everything about in your college days and in your school days also, right? So we have something called middle language and we have something called high language. So low level is something that which is a kind of binary language, I would say, right? Like a machine language. It's a machine language, right? Where we can write, right, which directly machine can understand, and probably it is in zeros and one form, right? It is in 0 and 1. Assembly language is kind of what I remember as of now is a COBOL, right? Or maybe a Proton if you have heard about all these, right? So this is the assembly language again that which is getting assembled and which is getting like used to change your code from the binary language to the machine language, right? Then this is the we all have heard about the C language, and the high level language, which is a very popular as of today, which is advanced version of many of the previous. Like we have the Java, we have C++, we have the .NET, we have Ruby, we have Python, of course, and maybe many more, right? So these are the some kind of languages I would say which we are just under, right? So basically what Python or any programming language does, right? What they done is they just change the source code to the machine language so that machine can understand, okay, what we want to achieve, right? We have the source code, whether it can be written in any of the language. So in this series we will talk about only the Python, which can be written in any of the language, right? And from there it will be like source code is which is human readable. Okay, let it take it that way. and the machine language is which is in binary form, which can machine can understand. Okay, like 0 and a 1 again. I hope you have heard about the Teskai code, right? Like for A it should be 65 and then again 65 in binary form, some 001110 like that, right? Maybe I'm wrong here, but I just want to give you understand, like this is something that we are understanding, right? So that's what that is. So yeah, so what they are, some languages first they compile your code, then they interpret or maybe translate from source code to binary code, and they have their own way of doing that stuff, right? But Python is a very kind of advanced language, right? What it does is it directly it is interpret language, right? Like it is just compiling your code and directly reading it and giving you a answer, right? So that was the basic understanding of the Python language. And I think it was built by a guy, if I remember, maybe name type Guede von Rossum, right? And somewhere in 1990s, around 1990s, he has built it. But now what, you say, okay, why he named the Python, right? So I think there was one circus, I don't remember the entire name of that circus, but some Monty's Python circus was there, and he was very a big fan of that circus, right? So based on that, he just named this language as a Python language, right? I think now we have Python 3 is mostly latest language which is being used as of today, right? And we can see it is a very friendly language, right? Easy to understand, easy to maintain. You can easily solve your complex problem in a fewer lines of code, right? And when we talk about the features of Python, maybe it is a dynamic language, like scripting language, static web, you can say, and most probably it is supporting a very huge communities and libraries, right, which can be used in different frameworks like Django, Flask, or the Pandas for data manipulation, TensorFlow for. Don't worry if you are not familiar with this. Maybe I'll just create one more video where we can discuss all these. But probably will not discuss all these in Windows, like what is Pandas and everything. But just to make you understand what all these is, right? It is just a kind of library which is coming from the Python community and which can help you to understand your problem. If you have the data manipulation queries, right? Maybe you can use the pandas, right? If you have a kind of, let's say, machine learning, you want to learn something, then probably you can use the TensorFlow, right? So this kind of stuff Python is supported. So that is the main benefit or maybe feature of Python 3, I would say, right? Now the next part is maybe how we can download or maybe we can set up our lab, right? So there are many ways. What you can do is you can directly go to something called python.org. From there you can directly download the Windows, if you are using a Windows, right? Or maybe if you are using another, then maybe you can just go to that, whatever that platform you are using, right? From there you can just directly download and you can just launch this I would say that command prompt, right? Like this cell where we can launch, right? So here you can see that we don't need to define any of the integer or the data types, right? If you remember it in any other language, if we need to do some kind of arithmetic operations, right? So what we need to do is first we need to define the data type, and then we need to define that operations, and then we need to restore, and then we need to print it, right? Obviously we can do the same thing here, but by default it you don't need to Python is able to understand, okay, what you are talking about, right? Let's say if I'll just put 3 plus 4, maybe it will throw error. Why? Because 3 is we are defining as a string, right? It is saying can only concatenate string, right, to string, not the int. But what I will do is if I'll do like this, probably it will give you answer 34, right? But here you can see this is not the correct, right? Because it should be 7 like that. But what is the difference is here you are defining without code, so Python is considering this as a integer data type and it is giving that arithmetic operation. But when you enclosed with this codes, right, so it is considering this as a string and it is just concatenating those string, right? So yeah, maybe coming videos we will discuss all this, but let's talk about like what is the best way to can set up. And if you have that command prompt and you have already installed, so from there also you can start just say python 3 and you will have the same shell, right? So here you can see that same shell, these three greater than symbol, right? It is giving you a kind of prompt for the python language. There is one more way. If you don't want to install any of the utility or for this, right, you can directly go to that collab.research.google.com and there you can start this notebook, right? So each cell you can see that this is the cell, right? If you want to add one more, right, you can directly add, right? So if I'll do the same thing here, what you can do is after finish typing finished your code, you can just simply click there, right? What it will do, it will just give you an example, right? Here you can see. And if you want to add more, then you can simply add here one more, right? So this way we can just give the, you make a use of this uh, collab, right? Just wanted to add more, then probably just hit add, you will have the new shell, right? Where you can just simply say print, okay, I am from let's say path for cloud, okay, and that's it. And once you say shift enter, it will be executed, or you can just directly click here. So that's what you can do. So this is the third option you can use. The first one is directly you can install from here, right? You can install the application, you can launch it from the command prompt, you can go to the collab. And what else is there is a sorry, there is a utility called anaconda, right? From there you can launch the jupyter notebook. And once you have that jupyter notebook is there, right, so you will have some kind of this probably format. From here what you can do is you can directly go to that new notebook which you can just name it and you can save it from locally as well, right? So we will gonna use a jupyter in this series, right, so that I can store all these notebook and probably will upload somewhere in our github and will attach that github link to that our videos, right? So here also you have the same thing. If you do this and just hit enter, right, let's say if you want to print something, we will discuss what is that syntax you want to use for print, right? Here you can see, right? Or if maybe you want to uh, just store your value to some kind of variable, right? So like that you can store. It's done. Now what we can do is we can directly call it, right? There are multiple ways, we will gonna discuss each and every ways to uh, uh, call that variable and everything, right? So that we will see, right? So here you can see that it is very easy to understand, like if it is just giving some kind of syntax error, also there you can see that it is giving the syntax error here, right? Unterminated f string, because we are not terminating this. So to terminate this we need to close that double quotes, and when you print it, so it will give you that same thing. All right. So yeah, so probably from the next class we'll start from the basics fundamental of the python. You have install this, or maybe directly you can install the jupyter notebook. And not, then probably you can just use the collab as well, or if you want to use cell, there also you can use the cell, right? But I would prefer just to understand the basics. Jupyter is a good option, but it's not hard and fast tool. It's up to you, whatever you like you can just but follow me, and then probably we'll start with. All right. So I'll take a pause from today, and probably from the next video we'll start the fundamentals of python. All right, so good luck and hope you like my content. So please subscribe and share it with your friends and colleagues, and hit the bell icon so that you will not miss any update from my end. All right, so I'll meet you in next video. Thank you guys. Bye bye.